All right. What's going on, peeps? And we are in another episode of Motivational Mondays. And we are going to be talking about determination, dominance, basically owning your life. A lot of people, they half-ass a lot of different things. Even me, I half-assed a lot of different things in my life prior to becoming an online marketer. And when it came to sports, I never half-assed that stuff. Like basketball particularly, I went full throttle, did my best. But when it came to life stuff, working a 9 to 5, doing things like that, half-assed. And in my defense, my dad never really taught me how to be a man in those regards. But yeah, that's a whole different story. You can probably check it out, one of my other videos there. But the point of this is that, you know, I come across a lot of different people in my industry, and most of them, they have an infinite number of excuses for why they're not working the hardest they can work. And most people have these really high expectations of themselves, whether it be goals or just dreams that they want to fulfill. But they don't have that hunger, that real desire, that fire. And a lot of times, it's because they haven't really felt what it's like to be rock bottom. So most people will never know what it's like to struggle entirely. They might go through a little bit of struggle, but they'll never know what it's like to be at the bottom. I know what it's like to be at the bottom, trust me. And to rise up, because you have nothing but room to go up, because you've already hit bottom, right? Now, in a different sense, let's say you've already made it, and we're going to use the Russell Westbrook unlimited potential mindset here, right? So Russell Westbrook, he plays for Oklahoma Thunder, and he plays with he was playing with Kevin Durant. So these guys were like the crazy 1-2 punch. I mean, KD, you know, he's destined for legendary greatness status. Westbrook already on pace for that type of status. I mean, he's just an all-around beast, right? Now, everybody thought these guys were going to be a legendary 1-2 duo for the rest of their careers in NBA, and change of pace, change of direction, boom, just like that. KD, you know, he's playing for Golden State Warriors now, because he just doesn't believe he can get a championship with Russell Westbrook. So Russell Westbrook, he had that lit something in him, something that he never had before. And it took that action, it took that experience that he experienced losing his other half as an NBA basketball player to another team, a business decision, and it took that situation to drive that fire in him, to create this type of urgency, create this determination, this unlimited potential. And so Russell Westbrook, he went on to set the all-time leading record for most triple-doubles in a season. And he actually averaged a triple-double the whole season. Pretty crazy, right? I think it's amazing, because he did that without Kevin Durant. Now there's a lot of, at the time of this video, MVP status of the season hasn't been named yet, but clearly he deserves it, because no one's ever going to beat that record ever again. I can always guarantee it. People will come close, but I honestly don't think it's ever going to get beaten, right? So Russell Westbrook, in order for him to do this, he had a desire to show people that he has what it takes to achieve a goal, to be great, to be one of the great ones, right? And it's inside of us. We all have this. We all have this gene, this thing inside us that's a fire. It's like a lion inside you that ignites when you hit rock bottom. And most people, as I said before, won't understand it because they'll never hit rock bottom entirely. But it doesn't mean you can't find what it means to be a lion, to be determined, to achieve greatness, right? It's that mindset of just wanting more and settling for no excuses, right? We are all regular people. I mean, there is nothing that separates you from me. You know, just because I do my online business, I was on welfare. I was a struggling father. I wasn't the best. You know, I was addicted to alcohol on the weekends. I was like a weekend warrior. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like everybody else. But there was a fire inside me that ignited. A fire that put me in a mindset to be determined, to not just be great at basketball, because I've achieved that status. But knowing that I was able to achieve that with that status, I know I could do these other things great too, like being a great father, being a great entrepreneur, being a great coach, being a great human being, being a compassionate human being. Like, we have it inside us. But we find so many excuses for why we are not going to be great, why we choose mediocre, why we choose average. And you're not designed for that. You're not designed to be average. You're designed to be great. You were built for greatness. It isn't until that you create this self-sabotage that you break down these greatness walls that hold you back. You build them yourself. No one's actually stopping you from being great. You build them yourself. Now look at Russell Westbrook. Him and KD, they were kind of under each other's wings, and they actually were kind of holding each other back, so to speak. So, you know, KD's playing phenomenal basketball with Golden State right now, and they're on their way to the finals. Russell Westbrook got knocked out in the first round, but he achieved something great, just like KD's doing right now, Kevin Durant. But it took rock bottom for these guys to see what it's like to be great on their own. And you, as a human being, need to find that greatness in you. And you need to remove all excuses for why you're not achieving it and why you haven't risen to the next level. You're not putting in the work, for one. That's why a lot of people will never achieve this type of status in their lives, because they haven't put in the work. And even when they put in just a little bit of work and they've worked hard, they consider that working a lot, right? And it's, trust me, you know, using my basketball as an example, I was doing 8-9 hour days, 10-hour days. Like, there's days that's all I did was play basketball. I studied the game. I studied game tape. I studied, you know, the icons. I mean, that's all it was. I was a student of the game, and eventually I transferred those skill sets, those newly acquired skill sets, the knowledge, and I put it into action. And as soon as I put it into action, I developed the wisdom. And once I developed the wisdom, that is an actual experience. So now you have this real wisdom inside you where you can go to this greatness anytime you want because you've actually experienced it. But you have to work, you have to understand these things, and you have to become a student of life and want to be a better person, want to be a great human being, because you have it inside you. But most people, and I'm going to leave you with this, most people will settle for the comfortability zone, will settle for excuses, will settle for just being mediocre because they fear success. If you want to succeed in life, stop being afraid to succeed. Peace.